What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. I'm gonna be honest. I was falling asleep during this episode. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I just found myself dozing off while I was watching this episode. I can't help it. Um, Peter August. Am I the only one who really don't care for this character? Like I really don't. I really don't care for Peter. And it's not Wes Ramsey's fault that I don't care for Peter, but it's we need a villain. I'm sorry, but we need a villain. I'm tired of watching all these characters trying to be redeemed, trying to be the good person, or trying to be complex. Be pure fucking evil and let's move on here. Make yourself more interesting. We got too many goody goods on this show and I'm sick of it. Can we have an evil person, please? Like somebody with a, uh, crazy and evil are two different things. Like we already got nailed for the crazy, but we need some evil. Like seriously, we need a villain. And Peter August, I'm sorry, but him trying to play this, you know, good guy or whatever, it's boring. It makes him boring. It makes him stale because he looks like he could be a good evil person, and that's what I want to see right now. I'm just not really caring for the Peter August character, and I hope the writers are not crazy enough to try to put him with Maxie. Like it's too soon for her to be dating anybody at this point, and I definitely don't see any romantic chemistry between her and Peter. To me, there is none. Um, I could see him screwing around with Lulu. That I can see, and it seemed like it's gonna happen because Lulu too damn stupid. Like the whole conversation Lulu was having with Dante just pissed me off. She acts like, to me, I just feel like Lulu wants a yes man. Every time Dante gives his opinion, she gets mad at him. You want to know why? Because his opinion does not align with her opinions. Just because he doesn't always agree with everything she wants to do. So that's why she gets mad at him. It's like you want a yes man, it's obvious. But you didn't marry that kind of person though. You married a person who thinks a little logically. You know what I mean? Dante's his own man. Lulu's sitting there talking about, oh, I make my own damn decisions. Apparently not, because you're too stupid to see that you're being played. Peter August is using you as a puppet. Even your own husband can see it. But you're too blind to see it because you want this little dumb writing career that a year ago, 2 years ago, you didn't even want. 2 years ago, she didn't even think about being a writer. This just came all of a sudden. Now all of a sudden, you think you Nancy Drew. Like, no, even your husband see that you're being played, but you're too dumb to see it. Like, I just wish Dante would get the hell away from her. Like, seriously, she's just constantly a problem in this marriage. Dante, he's no saint. You know, Dante did his dirt in the marriage too. Well, the first marriage. But I just feel like a lot of their issues came from Lulu. Like, majority of their marital problems came from her because she thinks she's right about everything. She thinks she know what the hell she be talking about. And in the end, it blows up in her face. Just like this will. It will blow up in your face. And I hope this time Dante looks at her and tell her, I told you so. This man is playing you. How can you not see this? I'm just ready for Dante to get his own storyline. Like something. Oh, I think he's at his best when he's away from her. That's when Dante really shine. You know what I'm saying? Even when he with her, like he be telling her how it is, and she never wants to hear it. That's all because he doesn't agree with her all the time. I bet you if Dante agreed with every little word that she said, I bet you she'd be happy. She would, be kissing on him every 2 seconds. But she gets mad at him whenever he don't agree with everything she said. I'm like, cause that's what marriage is. And that's what Dante said. Is he not allowed to have an opinion? She decided to keep her job as a writer without even talking to him about it. You know what I'm saying? Then when he give his opinion, you're mad. Damn, is he not allowed to speak? What kind of marriage is this? Marriage, as far as I'm concerned, is 50-50. Is it not? I'm just saying. Marriage is 50-50, is give and take. And all I see is her taking and taking and him giving and giving. That's all I see for the most part. Lulu just is annoying. Like she refuses to take any ownership of anything. Like then you can't even see that you're being a puppet. You are a puppet. Peter got he's making you dance. He's holding the strings and he's making you dance. And you don't even see it. Just a fool. Um so anyway, yeah. Peter, he's moving way too fast on Maxie. Like he's by her side every second. Like Peter, go jump somewhere. Go take a cliff, please. Go play in some traffic. You're not needed right now. He's boring me. I'm sorry, but Peter is just not reeling me in. He's really not. I'm bored by him. It's not Wes Ramsey's fault. It's the writers. They need to make me care about some of these characters because I'm just not here for it. I felt bad for Maxie because it's obvious, she's still reeling from her husband's death, obviously, and now she found out about this Huntington's disease. Um, I get tongue tied when I have to talk about certain things. So now she got to deal with this new problem. And I'm glad Felicia told her immediately about this instead of dragging it out. Um, she deserved to know. This affects her child. And it was so funny to look on Peter's face when he found out the disease that his father had and the fact that it could be passed down to him too. I bust out laughing. I said, that's what the hell you get. That's what you get. You came to town playing with people's lives. You used people like a pawn to get to your father. And now look, your father left you one last gift before his demise, after, well, from beyond the grave. And now it looks like you may die. So good luck with that, Pete. Um, you know what irritates me a little bit about GH right now? Notice how this episode, right, is literally still the same day. Friday's episode was at night. Because remember, Mike was at Ava's gallery on Friday's episode and he had got arrested. Remember that? So Monday was the same episode. It's the same day. They pretty much separate, they expanded it to 3 days in our time, but it's still the same day in Port Charles. I hate when they do that. Like, why do they drag out one day into 3 days our time? Our time it's been 3 days. This is day number three, but it's day three of the same day in Port Charles. Like, I wish that they would do the same formula that Y&R do, because Mal Young, the executive producer and head writer over at Y&R, every time you watch a new episode of Y&R, it's a new day. It's not the same day. I think GH needs to start doing that too, because I think it's a faster pace, and I actually like it what they did over at Y&R, because every new episode is a new day, and I think GH should do the same thing, because dragging out the same day in a 3 day time span, I feel like it's not progressing the storyline. It's regressing. It ain't, because you get the same dialogue when you do stuff like that. When you drag it out, like, and I like that Y&R ain't dragging it out. Every day is a new day, so I think GH should do the same thing. Um, Another storyline I could care less about, Franco. I don't give a shit about his storyline. I feel like this storyline should have wrapped up a couple of months ago, because who really cares about his past? About what happened with him and Drew when they were kids? Who really cares? I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not. Like, seriously, why in Jim Harvey? I could care less about Jim Harvey. I'm gonna tell you why. Because again, the writers are not making me care about Jim Harvey. First of all, he's a new character. We don't know his backstory. All we know is that he used to date Betsy back in the day, and he knows Drew and Bobby from back in the day when he dated Betsy. Pretty much what we know. I just find this whole storyline to be boring. Cause if they go the route that I think they're going, Jim is probably the one who really did all those things to Drew. He probably abused them boys. Um, and of course, Jim was lying. He knew exactly where Betsy was. He's pretty much paying Betsy's bills. He's the reason Betsy skipped town. He's paying for her expenses, of course. We all know this. It ain't, I mean, it's common sense. Like, just put the pieces together. And it's not that many pieces to put together to figure all this predictable shit out. Um, I been knew Jim Harvey was a snake. Easy to tell. I mean, I just really want to know, like, what is the end game with this Franco storyline? Like, what is the real? I just feel like the end of this storyline is going to be anticlimactic. That's just how I feel. Cause I feel like they keep having the same repetitive conversations. Like Franco and Scott. Scott keep telling Franco, "Oh, don't tell Elizabeth. Don't this. Don't keep it in. Keep it bottled up." That's the worst advice you can give your son. Like it's obvious that this secret is tearing him up. So to tell him to keep it bottled up, he's kept this secret for all these years. You know, it's like why hold on to it anymore? I think once he tells the truth or the truth comes out, it's a weight will be lifted, of course. But honestly, I just feel like the storyline is definitely going to be anticlimactic. It's been going on way too long. Like we need to have a conclusion. I just feel like a lot of the storylines lately have been anticlimactic. Like they're not big enough. You know what I'm saying? They're not juicy enough. You know, it's just like the fans are pretty much predicting these things months in advance because they're dragging out too long, and it's like you're going the predictable route. Um, I do like Drew and Curtis working together though on this whole thing. Um, Curtis going to the construction site and stuff. I knew he was gonna figure some things out, and I think Drew pretty much figured out that Jim had something to do with Betsy leaving town. At least Drew is on the right scent. At least he's not dumb. He's figuring things out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. At least they're not dumbing him down for the moment. Because Drew figured it out pretty fast, and I didn't think he would. That Jim is behind a lot of this stuff. I think I knew that he would figure out Jim was hiding something because it was pretty obvious that Jim is hiding something. Like we all could figure that out. Like people like Jim. I said this from the moment Jim Harvey came on this show. He's a snake. He's a snake. I've figured that much because you could tell a snake when you see one. Um, you could tell he's slimy, he's greasy, and you can tell. Elizabeth just needs to cut her losses and get out this dumbass relationship. I'm just saying, like you need to cut your loss and get up out this relationship. I don't see her and Franco lasting. Even if they do get married, I don't see them lasting. I don't see it. I really don't. I give their marriage probably maybe a month or two, maybe six, and that's being generous. 6 months is being generous, but I really don't see them lasting this long. Like they need to return Franco to the way he was, you know, the James Franco days, because that's what this character was meant to be until they try to make him domesticated. They tried to domesticate him. Um, but I really don't see it though. Scott is like giving him. I'm telling you though, Scott is giving him like the worst advice you could ever give anybody. Like that's the worst. Telling your son to keep all these secrets bottled up. You might as well just tell the truth. Stop assuming. See, that's the problem with Franco. He's assuming Elizabeth is gonna dump him. That's what he's assuming. See, you can't assume things because you don't know how somebody gonna react to something. She might surprise you and understand. Besides, he's like you're just assuming. And Elizabeth, I mean, he's done worse. He's done way worse than just stuffing somebody in some toy chest and pushing them down the stairs. I mean, hell, you murdered people and she's still willing to marry you. You kidnapped her own son and she's still willing to marry you. Who's to say she won't when the truth come out? I'm saying she might. But yeah, this episode, it was, I don't know. Maybe y'all feel differently, but I feel like this episode was a dud. Um, yeah. But hit the comment section. Let me know how you felt about this episode. I'll see y'all all later. See y'all later. Have a good day. Peace.